Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you all how to operate a tractor. I've got my tractor out here. I've already got it warmed up, and we'll go over how to drive it and how to operate it. I know a lot of people don't have any idea. I mean, it's not like a car, it's a lot different. First, I need you to hit that subscribe button. I need all the subscribers I can get. It helps get our message out over to YouTube, and I appreciate everybody that subscribes. We're climbing, so hopefully we'll get there someday. And one other update, I'm gonna swing y'all around. I got the side done on this, finish this high tunnel, so let's swing around and look at it. So I got it down and it's heating up in there, and hopefully we'll be able to do some work in there when it rains and it gets cold and stuff, or colder, I should say. And one other announcement, I'm not gonna do any videos this week. It's Thanksgiving week. Me and my wife are on vacation, or took some time off from work, and our daughter's home from school, so when it's Thanksgiving we got a lot to do, and so there'll be no videos, or no video Wednesday or Friday, and then we'll be back a week from today, back going strong. Got a lot of good stuff planned. So anyway, that's the announcement and update, and we appreciate y'all. So let's get to the video. This is my primary tractor. It's a John Deere 5055D, which is, I think, means a 55 horse. I bought it brand new in 2012. Before that I had a Massey Ferguson 231. Before that I had a Ford 8N. I currently have a Ford NAA, which is a Jubilee. It's a 54 model. We used to use a whole lot when we did hay, and I'll do a video on that. That'll be a separate video. And I got a John Deere B and a John Deere L in the workshop that we started working on, I don't know how many years ago. They never done nothing to them, but that's a long story. That's nothing to do with today. So anyway, I bought this tractor new, and it's two-wheel drive. It's got 8 forward speeds, 4 reverse speeds. Now I only use mostly the 4 forward speeds, and then the 4 reverse speeds. The other high speeds I don't ever use here on the farm. That's mainly for running up and down the road. Like when we did hay, like we did this field back here behind us, this field back here, we used to cut hay, and then 2 fields over is another big old field we used to cut hay. Well, I mean, it's just right here, but you can't come, he didn't want us to come through here, so we had to go around the road, which is, that farthest field's probably, it was probably a half a mile or so. So, and I used it a lot there, but I have never used it here. I usually use just 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's what I use for everything. I usually bush hogging 4, tillage, and 1 and 2. So anyway, my tires, I upgraded when I bought it and got the bigger tires. They're fluid filled. It's a diesel. Now some of these diesel tractors, you start them with a key, like a car, but you stop them with a pull kill switch. It's a little knob here that you pull. Matter of fact, all the old Fords, I think all the old John Deeres, all the Massey Fergusons I ever had one. But this one don't have one. This is just like a car. You turn it on with a key, you turn it off with a key. So it's got, like I said, the gear shifts are over there, 1 through 4. And this is your range here. High, low, and reverse. And here's your clutch. And on the other side is your brakes. And I'll go over and show you that here in a second. And of course the seat belt. This right here is it's how you engage your PTO, and I'll show you that once we start it up. In the back you got your PTO attachment and your 3-point lift. And I got this one with an auxiliary hookup, like the round beller I have, the raise and lower the gates hydraulic, so you hook it into there. If you had a V-rake, you would hook it into there. If you had a hydraulic grater blade, where you can move it back and forth from your seat, you'd hook it into there. It works from a lever up front. Here's you check your hydraulic oil. I've already warmed this tractor up, and it's a diesel, and especially this time of year, I'll warm up before I use it. I won't let it warm up for 5 or 10 minutes, depending on how cold it is. These right here are your turnbuckles, and that keeps your whatever you got hooked to it from going side to side. Of course, here's your brakes. and they're independent, and I mostly run these together. Only time I run them independent if I'm plowing or tilling or something, and that's you pull this lever up right here, so you got individual left and right brakes. So what you're doing, if you want to make a hard turn, say you want to turn to the left, you push this brake down, and the wheel over there will lock up, and it'll turn on a dime. I mean, it'll turn 90 degrees, hard 90 degrees. So I don't usually use that except when I'm plowing or tilling or something like that, tillage wise. Bush hogging and stuff like that, I never use that. Matter of fact, safety wise, I always pin it, because if you go in there and you have to stop and you hit this one, it'll cause it to jerk. So that's why it's got that pin in there, safety wise. This right here is a foot throttle. Here's your hand throttle. Here's your lever for your bucket. And here's your high-low. This right here is your hydraulics in the back, and your auxiliary hydraulics. And here's this is how you lower and raise your 3-point hitch. So let's get up on it, and I'll show you how to start it and how you operate it. Okay, like I was saying, this is a key start. And this don't have glow plugs on it. The Massey I had glow plugs, so you would turn it to a certain spot and you'd have a little light that comes on when it was ready to start. This one don't. So you just turn it, and then it starts. And then when you get ready to turn it off, you just turn it off like a car. And here's a better, this is your hand throttle. Down here's your foot throttle. Of course, over here's your clutch. That's your clutch, and what that does, that disengages the transmission. So if you want to stop, you got to push that down. You also got to use your brakes now. So it's really not that intimidating. This is a pretty heavy tractor, and there's no place on this farm, I don't think, where I can turn it over. I'm never worried about that. Now my other tractor, it's kind of lightweight, and I about flipped it over, rearing it up, flipped it over backwards a couple times. I about did that. So I have never done this one, I guess because it's got a front end loader on it, makes it more heavier. This is a pretty safe tractor, and I like it. It's got power steering. Got the front end loader. This is the first front end loader I ever had. So let's go, and we'll go forward, and I'll show you how we do that. It's kind of like, it's got 1 through 4 on low, 5 through 8 on high forward, and then the reverse is just 1 through 4. But you don't drive it like a car. You don't start out first and hit your clutch and go to second, like that. Whatever you start out in is where you stay. That's the way I do it anyway. So like if I want a bush hog, I'll start out in 4th gear, ease off the clutch and go. If I'm plowing, if I'm doing some kind of tillage that takes a lot of horsepower, or stuff like that, you go in 1st or 2nd. This field down here, this part of my garden, I can plow it in 2nd with a double plow. The other one I have to go in 1st. For some reason, there's a hard dead pan through the middle of it, about 6 feet wide, so you hit it, it kind of stops you. But this over here, this plows like a dream. And usually that's what I do there. Like when I had the round bales, I would used to go in 3rd most of the time. It couldn't really handle 4th. Hay baler, a round hay baler, even though I got the smallest one. Let me move my gloves over here before I forget them. I got a 4x4, which is probably the smallest one you can get, and it's all this tractor wants. So if you're thinking about going in the round hay baling, you need I think at least a 65, and it depends on your terrain. Like on this farm, it did fine, but if you come up, this next farm's fine. That 2 fields over had some pretty steep grades, and it is all it wanted going up those grades, especially when you got about through with it. And I mean, it's all it wanted. So I would probably go with if you're going round belt, I'd get a bigger tractor. Also, I would consider a cab. kind of wish I had one now, but I don't, shoot, I went and priced them, and my gosh, I don't know how anybody affords a new tractor, especially a small farmer like us. But I mean, especially round belling, because you got all that dust going on, all that, boy, I tell you, that's one reason I quit round belling. It just killed me for like 4 or 5 days, you know. So I mean, if you're gonna do some serious round belling, I would consider, you know, investing in a cab. That way it just keeps all, unless it don't bother you. You know, I'm sure a lot of people it don't bother, but it bothers me. Square belling is not that big of a deal. It's not as dusty, it don't seem like. And so I just keep this tractor. I really like this tractor. But anyway, let's get started. So if you're gonna start, you have to take it out of gear. This is like a little safety feature. Now I just put it in gear, turn the key, will not start. So I'm taking it out of gear. Starts. I got my foot on the clutch. Pull it forward low. In third gear. Foot off. Now I want to stop and go backwards. I'll push the clutch in. Got the clutch pushed in. Go straight back. So most of the time when I'm actually doing work with this tractor, I use the hand throttle. I just put it up, you just put it in a certain spot and it'll stay there. If I'm going like from here up to the house to get some mulch or stuff like that, I use a lot of foot throttle, because the camera on it and get up there, and when you get up there you slow down and get your scoop and come back and stuff like that. So let's go out here and I gotta do a little bush hogging. I'm getting ready to move my meat chickens going back towards the house. I need to cut a little path through them. It's got a little high. Let's go over there and I'll show you how we engage the PTO. And you can see there's not much to these tractors. I know it intimidates my wife. You know, she hates driving this tractor, and that's one of the reasons we was wanting a smaller tractor to go with this tractor. You can get one with a hydrostatic, and just set your throttle, and you push down on the pedal to go forward. You push on another pedal to go backwards. There's no gears and stuff like that. So, you know, I've never owned one, so I can't really speak to how it would do as a primary tractor. I don't know if it would pull, you know, some heavy tillage and stuff like that, like I like to do. So I need to, if I'm gonna get one, I'm gonna keep this tractor and get a compact, just so she can have something to drive. It'd be nice, like when we're setting plastic, she can do that and I can do all the leg work. Whereas of now, she does all the leg. Well, I don't know, that might be a bad thing. I might need to do it. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So she could take off, you know, with that hydrostatic and lay the plastic and stuff like that. And she could help me bush hog on part of it. I mean, I'd send a kid down here to bush hog part of this. Most of it, matter of fact. I got one little area that's kind of rough, and got some plans for it, and I'll show you that when we get to it later on in the year. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's go over here and do a little bush hog, and I'll show you how to engage it and all that stuff. Okay, so we're up here and we're gonna start, and I'm not gonna go real loud, real hard on this just because of the sound. But here's the PTO, and every time I engage my PTO, I put my RPMs as low as I can. You don't want to set your RPMs. You run your RPMs for a full 540 rotations per minute. You set it at, on this tractor, 2200 RPMs. So I'm at the bare minimum. I'm at like 500 RPMs right now. So I engage my PTO. I hope you can see that. With this lever right here is what I engage it with. Off. It's on. Now some tractors now, especially the newer tractors, have a electric PTO where you just pull a button on and off. So I don't know might be better, I don't know. I like this one all right. My Massey Ferguson had a 2-stage clutch that it still had the lever. And this is I think this is called a live PTO. When I push the clutch, the PTO still goes. My Massey Ferguson, when you push the clutch all the way down, the PTO would stop. It's a little bit hard for me to get used to go from that tractor to this tractor, but I'm pretty used to it now. So this is right by your side, the handle is. So if you get in a situation where you need to turn it off, you know, you can pull it right up. Anyway, like I said, I started at my low RPMs, and I'm not gonna go all the way like I would normally, but I would hit that up, put it in gear, and away we go. One thing I forgot, you got to put your PTO at a level. Usually I run it, I've got numbers on this little dial, and I run it on the 2. Like I said, I run a lot faster than I usually when I'm not filming. I want to keep the noise down. I hope you can hear me over this. I don't know how it's going to turn out. But I hope you get the gist. And now when I stop, got my foot on the clutch. When I want to stop, PTO with the PTO, I pull this lever up. So that stops it. And safety wise, you don't want to get off with the PTO engaged. Matter of fact, when you get off with it engaged here, a buzzer sounds, you know, as a warning. So a lot of bad things could happen. So you need to keep that in mind. And of course I have a tachometer. Have a tach, fuel gauge, and a temperature gauge. And here's the throttle, hand throttle, lights, signals when you're on the road. And here's your bucket control. So that's pretty self-evident, you know. It's not that, it's just a learning curve on the bucket. So I can't think of anything else. It's got a parking brake, which I use not a whole lot, but anyway. So I hope it's been a big help to you. I'm sure I've forgotten something. I always do when I watch the video after my daughter gets through editing it, and I think, well, why didn't I say this? Why didn't I think that? Or start writing down notes and stuff. But I just try to keep it real. I don't have nothing scripted, nothing planned. I mean, I plan what the video is going to be about, and then I just go with it. So anyway, I hope this helps. The main thing is to not be intimidated. It just takes practice. It just takes practice. Every tractor is a little bit different, and I'll show you my in a later date. We gotta get some new tires for the back and a new battery. But we're going to plan on using the old Ford a lot this upcoming year, so I'll show you that when we get it going again. It's actually me and my son's. He owns half and I own half. We bought it at auction. I'll tell you all about that when I get to it. And if you have any questions, you can send me an email, leave a comment. I answer all the comments. I really like this tractor, and you know, I love John Deere now, but I wasn't when I bought it. You know, I got a good deal on it. I had 0% financing, you know, it's one of those deals. It's paid for now, and I'll probably keep it probably till the day I die, and then I'll probably sell it and go to Cancun or something. But anyway, I'm rambling. Maintenance wise, it's really easy to do, easy maintenance. I think any tractor is easy to maintain for the most part. Just keep it greased, keep the oil changed. The hood flips up. It's a little hard with a front end loader to maintain, but I change the oil, it's easy, and I change the hydraulic filter and the fuel filter and all that, so pretty regular. Hope you have a good Thanksgiving. If I don't talk to you again before then, just remember that no videos this Wednesday or this Friday. I'll be back a week from today. We'll be back on our regular schedule. We've got some pretty good videos coming up in the planning stages, so hopefully something y'all like. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a blessed Thanksgiving. Hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, support your local farmer, and we'll see you in the next video.